All right, so we'll finish up this section by looking at some application problems that we can solve by substitution. And in a lot of cases, application problems, because of the way that they're set up, lend themselves to being solved by substitution. So when that's the case, what you're basically going to do is you're just going to set the two equations equal to each other. And I'll show you how that actually is, in fact, substitution. You don't think of it really as being substitution, but it really is. So here's a quick example. My current gym is charging me $35 a month, and I'm looking into another gym that'll charge an initiation fee of $100 plus $25 per month. So what's going to happen is you're going to have an equation for the cost of your current gym, and you're going to have an equation for the cost of this new gym, where you're going to use C for the cost, which is kind of like your Y value, and X for the number of months. You could use M, but they're telling us to use X here. So the current gym is just $35 per month. There's no flat fee because you're already a member there. And the new gym is going to be a fee of $100 plus $25 per month. So these equations should be pretty straightforward to see, right? So the first one, the current gym, is C equals 35X, right? Because X months times $35, that'll give you the total cost. So that's the current gym. And then this new gym is going to be $100 plus $25 per month. Okay, so how many months would you need to be a member for the two costs to become equal, right? Because this one has a lower per month rate, but you do have this initiation fee, whereas this one just has the monthly rate. So what you're really doing here is you're basically saying, I want these two costs to be equal. So you're really going to just set the costs equal to each other. But the other way to look at it, like it's substitution, is, well, C is 35x, and I'm just going to place this 35x where C is in the other equation, right? So you end up just setting the two right sides equal to each other. So it ends up becoming 35x equals 100 plus 25x, right? And then if I subtract 25x on both sides, I'll have 10x equals 100. And then if I divide by 10, I'm going to get 10 months. So it's 10 months for the two costs to be equal. And now this is kind of just like the car rental problem, right? So there should be a follow-up to this now. If I plan on being a member for 2 more years, should I switch gyms or continue at my current gym? Okay, so 2 years, you got to realize, hey, it's not 2 months, it's 2 years. That's actually x equals 24, right? So the equal point is when x equals 10, and you're going to be a member until x equals 24 at least, right? So what's going to happen is it pays then, since you're going to be a member for more than 10 months, to switch gyms. Because what's going to happen is at the current gym, you'd have 35 times 24, right? So then that's going to be 840. And at the new gym, it's going to be 100 plus 25 times 24. And here it's going to be 700. So you would pay a total of 840 at the new gym, at the current gym, I'm sorry, and only 700 at the new gym, right? So the difference then is $140. So you save $140 if you switch. Now that's a little misleading because it makes you think, hey, I'm having an extra $140. No, I mean, you're only saving $140 total over that course of those 2 years. And in fact, at the beginning, you're losing money, right? So it really depends on your money situation. If money isn't an option, isn't an issue, right? I mean, okay, switch because I'll save in the long run. But if you want to save money in the short term, you probably don't want to pay that initiation fee. But yes, in the long run, you would save $140 by switching. So that's the one. And then the other one is one that you can basically set up like a picture for, because it's a rectangle, right? So the minute you see rectangle, what you should just do is draw a rectangle. So there's my rectangle, and I know the length is 4 inches shorter than 3 times the width, and the perimeter is 48 inches. So that's really like your two equations if you want to write it formally. But the nice thing to do in this case is not even necessarily write a system of equations, just label the length and the width, right? So the length is 4 inches shorter than 3 times the width. So what I can do is I can call W the width, and now the length is 4 shorter than 3 times the width. So if you remember when we did the translation, that's kind of like 4 less than 3 times the width, right? So if the width is called W, how do you write 4 less than 3 times W? It's 3W minus 4. Okay, so that's your setup of the rectangle. And then how do you get the perimeter? You just add up all 4 sides. So you'd have W plus 3W minus 4 plus 3W minus 4, right? So that would be kind of like just the drawing the picture way of solving it, right? So when you add up all 4 of these sides, it's going to give you 48. So I can do this. So I'll write 3W minus 4 plus 3W minus 4 plus W equals 48. And then just solve this, right? Combine all those like terms. So it's 8W minus 8 equals 48. Then add 8. So 8W equals 56. So W equals 7. And this is in inches. So W is 7. And I know that the L, right, length is going to be 3W minus 4. So 3W minus 4 would be 7 times 3, which is 21, minus 4, which is going to be 17 inches. So that's your length. So the width is 7 inches and the length is 17 inches. And then you should just verify basically that when you add all those up, you end up getting your 48, right? 7 times 2 is 14. 17 times 2 is 34. So 14 plus 34 is going to give you 48. So it does work. So the width is 7 inches, the length is 17 inches. And again, could you have done that the formal way? Right, you could have. Just use the first sentence to turn it into an equation, right? Length is 4 shorter than 3 times the width. L equals 3W minus 4. And how do you get the perimeter formula? The perimeter formula is 2L plus 2W equals the perimeter, which is 48. So if you're doing it more of the formal system of equations way, this is what you would set up, right? You'd set up L equals 3W minus 4, 2L plus 2W equals 48, and then you would use substitution because you know L is 3W minus 4, and you can then just plug it in there. And then what would happen is you'd end up getting the same equation that we got on the left, right? 6W minus 8 plus 2W equals 48. And then when we add these up, we get 8W minus 8 equals 48, which then matches what we had there. So whether you do it just with a picture or the algebraic, the more formal algebraic method of setting up a system of equations, get the same value. The width is 7 inches, the length is 17 inches.